See how many of us fell, for heaven's sake, and how it seems that Clytemnestra hashed mischief against you two during your absence. Be sure, therefore, continue Agamemnon, and not be too friendly even with your own wife. Do not tell her all that you know perfectly well yourself. Tell her part only, and keep your counsel about the rest. Not that your wife, Odysseus, is likely to murder you, for Penelope is a very admirable woman, and has an excellent nature. We left her a young bride, with her infant at her breast, and when we set out for Troy, this child no doubt had no grown up happily to man's estate, and he and his father will have a joyful meeting and embrace one another, as if right they should do. Whereas my wicked wife did not even allow me the happiness of looking upon my son, but told me ere I could do so. Furthermore, I say and lay my saying to your heart, do not tell people when you are bringing your ship to Ithaca, but still march upon them, for after all this there is no trusting woman. But now tell me, and tell me true, can you give me any news of my son Orestes? Is he in Orchomonius, or at Pylos, or is he at Sparta with Menelaus? For I presume that he is still living. And I said, Agamemnon, why do you ask me? I do not know whether your son is alive or dead, and it is not right to talk when one does not know. As we two sat moving and talking thus sadly with one another, the ghost of Achilles came up to us with Patroclus, Antilochus, and Ajax, who was the finest and goodliest man of the Danaans, after the son of Peleus, the fleet descendant of Phrixus, knew me, and spoke piteously, saying, Odysseus, noble son of Aretus, what deed of daring will you undertake next, that you will venture down to the host of Hades among us silly dead, who are but the ghosts of them that can labor no more? And I said, Achilles, son of Peleus, foremost champion of the Phrygians, I came to consult Tiresias, and that he could advise me about my return home to Ithaca, for I have never yet been able to get near the Phrygian land, nor have set foot in my own country, but have been in trouble all the time. As for you, Achilles, no one has ever yet so fortunate as you have been, nor ever will be, for you will adore by us all Argives as long as you are alive, and now that you are here, you are a great prince among the dead. Do not therefore take it so much to heart, even if you are dead. Say not a word, he answered in death's favor. I would rather be a paid servant in a poor man's house and be below ground than a king of kings among the dead. But give me news about my son. Has he gone to the wars, and will he be a great soldier? Or is this not so? Tell me also, you have heard anything about my father Peleus? Does he still rule among the Myrmidons, or do they show him no respect throughout Hellas and Phthia, now that he is old and his limbs fail him? Could I but stand by his side in the light of day, with the same strength that I had when I killed the bravest of our foes upon the plain of Troy? Could I but be as then I was, and go even for a short time to my father's house? Anyone who tried to do him violence or supersede him would soon rue it. I have heard nothing, I answered Peleus, but I can tell you about your son, Neoptolemus, for I took him in my own ship for Cyprus with the Ukians, in our councils of war before Troy. He was always first to speak, and his judgments were unerring. Nestor and I were the only two who could surpass him, and when it came to fighting on the plain of Troy, he could never remain the body of his men, but would dash on far and French foremost of them all in valor. Many a man did he kill in battle, I cannot name every single one of those whom he slew while fighting on the side of the Argives, but will only say how he killed that Valens hero, Eurypylus, son of Telephus, who was the handsomest man I ever saw except Memnon, who many others also the Cessations fell around him by reason of the women's bribes. Moreover, when the bravest of the Argives were inside the house of Helios had made, and it was left to settle who should either open the door of the ambuscade or keep it closed. All the other leaders and chief men among the Danaans were dying, drying their eyes, quaking in every limb. I never once saw him turn pale nor wipe a tear from his cheek. He was all the time urging me to break out from the hordes, grasping the handle of his sword and bronze shod spear and breathing fury against his foe. Yet when he had sacked the city of Priam, he got his handsome share of the prize money and went on board. Such a fortune of war without a wound upon him, neither from a thrown spear nor in close combat, for the rage of Ares is matter of great chance. When I had told him, the ghost of Achilles strode off across a meadow full of asphodel, exulting over what I had said concerning the vows of his son. The ghost of other dead men stood near me and told me each his own melancholy tale, but that of Ajax, son of Telamon, alone held aloof, still angry with me for having won the cause in our dispute about the armor of Achilles. Thetis had offered it as a prize, but the Trojan prisoners and Athena were the judges. Would that I had never gained a day in such a contest, for it cost the life of Ajax, son of the foremost of the Danaans, after the son of Peleus, of like stature and prowess. When I saw him, I tried to pacify him and said, Ajax, you will not go forget and forgive even in death, but must the judgment about the hateful armor still rankle with you? It cost us Argives dear enough to lose such a tower of strength as you were to us. We mourn you as much as we mourn Achilles, son of Peleus himself, nor can the blame be laid on anything but on the spite which Zeus bore against the Danaans, for it was that he made him counsel your destruction. Come hither, therefore, bring your proud spirit into subjection, and hear what I can tell you. He would not answer, but turned away to Erebus and to the other ghosts. Nevertheless, I should have made him talk to me in spite of his being so angry, or I should have gone on talking to him, only that there were still others among the dead whom I desired to see. Then I saw Mennos, son of Zeus, with his golden scepter in his hand, sitting in judgment of the dead, and the ghosts were gathered, sitting and standing round him out of the spacious house of Hades, to learn the sentences upon them. After him I saw huge Orion, in a meadow called Asphodel, driving the ghosts of the wild beasts that had killed upon the mountains, that he had a great bronze club in his hand, unbreakable forever and ever. And I saw Titius, son of Gaia, stretched upon the plain and covering some 9 acres of ground. 2 vultures on either side of him were digging their bright beaks into his liver, and kept on trying to beat them off with his hands, but could not, for he had violated Zeus's mistress Leto as she was going through Panopeus on her way to Pytho. I saw also the dreadful fate of Tantalus, who stood on a leg that reached his chin. He was dying to quench his thirst, but could never reach the water, for whenever the poor creature could stop to drink, it dried up and vanished, so that there was nothing but dry ground, harsh by a spike of heaven. There were all tall trees, moreover, that shed the fruit over his head, pears, pomegranates, apples, sweet figs, juicy olives, but whenever the poor creature stretched out his hand to take some, the wind tossed the branches back again to the clouds. And I saw Sisyphus at his endless task, raising the prodigious stone with both hands and feet, tried to roll it up to the top of the hill, but always just before he could roll it over to the other side, so it would be too much for him, and the pitiless stone would have come thundering down again to the plain. Then he would begin trying to fish it up a hill again, and sweet ran off him, and stream rose after him. After him I saw mighty Hercules, but it was his phantom only, for he is feasting ever with immortal gods, and his lovely heavy wife, his daughter of Zeus and Hera. The ghosts were screaming round him like a scared bird flying all withers. He looked back as knights, and his bare bow and hands and arrows of string layering around as though ever on the point of taking aim. About his breast there was a wondrous golden belt, adorned in the most marvelous fashion with bears and wild boars and lions and gleaming eyes. There was also war, battle, and death. The man who made that belt to do what he might, he would never be able to make another like it. Hercules knew me at once when he saw me, and spoke piteously, saying, My poor Odysseus, noble son of Aretus, are you two leading the same story kind of life that I did when I was able above ground? I was son of Zeus, but I went through infinity of suffering, for I became bondsman to one who was far beneath me, a low fellow who set me all manner of labors. He once sent me here to fetch the hellhound, for he did not think he could find anything harder for me than this. But I got the hellhound out of Hades and brought him to him, or Hermes and Athena helped me. On this Hercules went down into the house of Hades, and I stayed where I was in case of some other mighty dead should come to me, and I should have seen still other of them that are gone before, whom I would fain have seen. Faces and Pirithous, glorious children of the gods. But so many thousands of ghosts came round me and uttered such appalling cries that I was panic-stricken by lest Persephone should send up from the house of Hades the head of the awful monster Gorgon. On this I hastened back to my ship and ordered my men to go on board at once and loose the hawsers, so they embarked and took their places, whereon the ship went down to the stream of the river Oceanus. We had to row at first, but presently a fair wind sprang up.